Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Allen, and welcome back to the Whatta podcast, episode 26. We're just flying, we're gliding, we're breezing, and I don't have a proper joke opener. I'm going to talk about a pretty recent and serious event in the back half of the podcast. I'm front loading right now to tell you guys that. In case you need to bow out, I'll let you know when it occurs. I will also be giving a minor spoiler for Stranger Things Season 4, Episode 1 opening sequence before the credits, like the intro credits roll, because it also relates to that story. It's the whole reason I decided to bring it up, was because of that. But postponing that serious discussion until we get to the end, I'm instead going to front load with something that came up. I don't remember how it came up. I might have been talking with family, or it might have just been something that came to my mind while listening to another song be edited. But radio edits of songs. If you only ever listen to the radio, you might not ever know the song has been edited. But if you are a human being, you don't always listen to the radio. Sometimes you might listen to a song streamed directly from maybe Spotify, Pandora. Maybe you have CDs if you're like me and old, as I've been told by everyone. Somehow having CDs is old, but you're cool and retro if you've got records and vinyls. That doesn't make sense, but I digress. Anyways, so the thought re-entered my head, right? And I don't know what like conversation occurred to spawn it, but I was thinking about the fact that I remembered seeing that there is a radio edit of Eminem's I don't know the name of the song actually. And I didn't Google it. I just know it has to do with mushrooms. I own the CD it's on. I feel very proud about that. But it's a funny song, you know. I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl. I never meant to bring you to my world. And that's all I can sing because I'm probably already copyrighted. But that song, right? You just heard me sing part of the chorus. The part of the main whole thing of the chorus is that she eats too many mushrooms and by the end of the song she dies. I think her name is Susan. But it's just a story song. Like the whole song is just him telling the story of being at a party, seeing this girl, being like, "Hey, want to try some mushrooms with me?" And then she eats too many and dies. And the radio edit changes it to him offering like mushroom pizza, like pizza with mushrooms on it. Like he offers her pizza with mushrooms on it, and she's allergic. And then the remainder of the song spirals out without, of course, expletives because it's the radio, and we don't have cursing on the radio. But it made me curious, right? I was like, what other songs have been like egregiously, touched by the radio? So I've got a couple links open up. They have a couple songs each. I just kind of want to go through them because I think they're goofy. Some of them have like explanations, and if they don't, I'm gonna make one up. Unless it's obvious. Duh. Expletives don't exist on the radio. Big example of that. It's probably in one of these lists, or it's probably mentioned somewhere. People talk about it, but "F.U." by CeeLo Green, which has commonly been referred to as "Forget You" because that's the radio edit of the song, is in the chorus when he's like, and I'm like, "Forget you." But no, the word it's the F word. He says the F bomb. That's that's the word that's missing from the radio edit for obvious reasons. But like that one's not that bad. In all honesty, I think the word "forget" with the extra syllables fits a little better. But I also enjoyed the fun of hearing "F.U." And also getting... That's what it was. I've just remembered what spawned this topic, and it was me playing this song in the car with my mother. And she went, "Has that what he's been saying the whole time?" And I was like, "Yes. You've just never heard it off the radio." Because I was playing it through Spotify. Not sponsored. This is not an ad. No shameless plugging here. Shameless unplugging of my headset, which would be dumb. I'd get the worst feedback. So I just want to go through a couple of these. And by that I mean a good chunk. Enough to make the podcast feel worthwhile. Because I've only got 2 topics. Because I have 4 other topics that are research heavy. And I still haven't researched for them. I mean, there are 3 other topics that are research heavy. One is just the fact that dogs are inverse crackheads. Which, hey, if you have a dog, right? Dogs are filled with energy for no reason. They do everything. They're crazy. They're wild. They're animals, you know? But if you saw that same energy come out of a human being, you'd call them a crackhead. You'd say they're a crackhead. Dogs are just inverse crackheads, and the only thing that's inverse about them besides that they're not human is that you like them. Because no one likes crackheads. Don't do drugs. Gosh, that's bad. Anyways, number 1 on this list, this page, this is an article from 11points.com. I don't think it lists who wrote it. Oh, it does. Written by Sam Greenspan. Yeah, they're never going to know that I've mentioned them. I'm not famous. But just in case they do, I'm going through your article. You're one of these articles. Anyways, Starships by Nicki Minaj. There's a line where she says, my name is, I don't know how to say her name. I think it's Onika. You can call me Nikki. And the radio edit removes her name. So it goes, my name is blank. You can call me Nikki. And I understand that if you're not, like, if you're half paying attention and you hear her say her name, Onika, you might hear something else. But that's so dumb because it's legitimately her name. It just is. And if someone is so offended that they misheard her name and thought it was a different word, I think they need some help and should probably get checked out. The Humpty Dance. This one made me laugh. I read through a part of the article just to make sure it wasn't a fake. And the original lyric, I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. And the edited lyric is, I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a bathroom. They took out Burger King from the radio edit. You can talk about that you got busy and down and dirty in a bathroom, but you will not freely advertise Burger King on our American Airways, apparently. Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, right? Why does this need to be edited? Well, I'll tell you. OG Lion. Here we go, satellite radio. Y'all getting hit with the boom boom. I don't remember the beat to the song, so that was probably bad. But the edited version, here we go, radio. Y'all getting hit with the boom boom. They took out satellite. What? They took out the word satellite. They didn't let them say satellite radio. Just went, here we go, radio. What's the point? I'm sure someone out there has a much more reasonable explanation for why that line was edited. That was interesting. But in my head, it just seems like radio didn't want to give a free plug to satellite radio. So they edited out the word satellite so that it would just be radio. And that's dumb. Now, I accidentally skipped down to one that I didn't read ahead of time, and that one's hilarious. But before we get there, Give Me Everything by Pitbull, featuring Chris Brown. Pretty certain. It doesn't say the featuring; it just says by Pitbull. The original lyric, I'm an American Idol, get money like Seacrest. And the edited one is, I'm an American Idol, get money like. Now, some of these edits might be specific to just LA hip-hop stations. I would like to preface that. Like, from this article. That's where this one's written about. It's about a specific station over there in LA, Los Angeles. So it might not be everywhere. Because I know, I'm pretty certain, but I also haven't heard Give Me Everything on the radio in ever. So I couldn't tell you if, at least over here in the great panhandle of the world, and by the world I mean the United States, um, if it's edited like this. But the fact that they took out his name is so funny to me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some reason for his name removal. Either I would assume either he doesn't want it. I'm not gonna read this explanation that's here because it just feels like cheating. Either he didn't want his name as a part of the song on the radio, or he has something that would compete with radio. Everyone has something that would compete with radio. The world is competing with radio, and radio's losing, and that's okay. But anywho, yeah, the one that broke me for a second. Thrift shop. Hey, guys, we all know R. Kelly, right? We all know the song Thrift Shop. So we all probably heard the line, probably should have washed this, smells like R. Kelly sheets, piss. You know, but it was 99 cents. But yeah, that line, which has been edited down to just probably should have washed this, smells like. That's it. It just cuts off there. Not only did they cut out the piss line, which, yeah, I get you don't want to say piss on the radio, but they cut out the R. Kelly line. And, hey, it would be one thing, right, if R. Kelly songs weren't still on the radio. But R. Kelly songs still play on the radio at times. I've heard them. And I've been like, whoa, this is an R. Kelly song. They're still playing his music? So you can't edit the line out of Thrift Shop where he references the whole reason that R. Kelly music should not still be playing on the radio without taking his music off the radio. That's my stance. What is this? Lightning Crashes by Live. The original lyric is, lightning crashes, a new mother cries, her... Oh my god, I should have read this beforehand. Her placenta falls to the floor. Yeah, you know which line was taken out. And we know why. I don't even need to give the explanation. That one's pretty obvious. Oh, my word. Next one. Knock You Down by Carrie Hilson. I used to be commander-in-chief of my pimp ship flying high. The edited lyric over there on this, whatever stations are playing this edit, is, I used to be commander-in-chief of my pimp flying high. They didn't take out pimp, they took out ship. Because I guess someone misheard it as pimp shit instead of pimp ship with a P. And that's hilarious. My guys, they took out the word they misheard and not the word pimp. Everyone who makes music, if you get on the radio, I need you to make a song with the word pimp in it. Because apparently it's allowed, and that's hilarious. And follow it up with a word that can be misheard. And I want to know if the radio edit, I need to know if the radio edit will take out the word pimp or if it will take out the misheard word. Because that's hilarious. Die Young by Kesha. It's pretty obvious that you've got a crush, that magic in your pants is making me blush. Edited lyric. It's pretty obvious that you've got a crush, that magic in your in-ear is making me blush. I just... Guys, it's so much worse. You know what other song did something like this? And what was that? That was Scream and Shout. will.i.am featuring Britney Spears. When she, like, what was the end of the line? You are now rocking with will.i.am and Britney, bitch. Except the radio edit went Britney, and it was so weird. Why would she say her name twice? She's not a Pokemon. She's not chugging along being like, Britney. Like, no. Just radio edits. I hate them. I hate them so much. And this is exactly why everyone streams music. But that's so goofy. In your pants. Oops, skipped one on accident. This Love by Maroon 5. The original lyric is sinking my fingertips into every inch of you. The edited lyric is my fingertips into every inch of you. Because apparently taking out the word sinking is what needed to happen there to make that a friendly song for the radio. Excuse me. Like, what? No. You know how weird that is? Can you imagine if someone walked up, not even someone, imagine if your significant other, right, walked up to you and was like, my fingertips into every inch of you. What? Are you going to skin me? Because that's what it sounds like you just said. What is this added? It's ridiculous. Apparently, Poker Face by Lady Gaga. Original line, poker face, poker face. The edited lyric takes out that second poker. It just goes poker face, face. I did read the little thing here, and apparently there's a debate on whether Gaga is saying poker face in the second second line, or if she's saying the F word. So poker face, F word face. Like F word her face to make it sound like poker. Which sounds ridiculous in my opinion. Cause hey, I don't think Lady Gaga's ever been so naively vulgar. If she's vulgar, it's usually outright. No offense to you, Miss Gaga. I've yet to see House of Gucci. I have not heard good things, but I'm really just going in to see Adam Driver do an Italian accent. Alright, the last one on this list is Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Oh, God. What? Interesting. So, the original lyric, dial 1-900-MIX-A-LOT and kick them nasty thoughts. The edited lyric, dial and kick them nasty thoughts. Now, if you don't know, most fake numbers for any media outlet usually involve a 555. If you see 555 in a number on a movie or a TV show or anything in video games, it's fake. It's a fake number. It's not real. They use that for everything. I guess the fact 1-900 is not a fake number is okay, I guess, edit that out. But also, I think everyone is smart enough to know that 1-900-MIX-A-LOT is not enough numbers for a telephone number. Guys, Mix-a-Lot. Wait, is it enough? Hold on. Mix-A-L-O-T. That's more. It's more numbers than a telephone number. We're not idiots. Although that can be debated based on the fact that I couldn't count that correctly. But that. Come on, guys. We're better than this. We're better than this. Alright, I'm going to look through this list again. Because this one, all these radio edits seem to be more so the cuts of specific things like guitar solos or backing vocals, which is weird. I'll read this one because apparently the entire second verse of the Eagles' Lion Eyes is removed from this one, and I think it's hilarious. This is from culturesonar.com, the Radio Edit Hall of Shame by Michael Reyes. I'm not going to read all of them. In fact, I think that might have been the last one. Yeah. That's the only one I want to mention from there, because the other ones, they're very specific. You know, they're not, you lose some stuff as a musician, but not enough for you to be like, oh no, let's talk about this. But there's just so many. They're so good. Oh God. I'm sure some people might have heard this one. I'm over on Reddit now. This is the last spot for these radio edits that are going to come through. Fucking Problems. Hey guys, shouldn't have even attempted to put that song on the radio. You know why? Because the chorus says that word so often that if you bleep it out, it just sounds ridiculous. Even the other word in the chorus that they say, the B word. Hey guys, something sounds ridiculous when all you hear is, I got mad and problems. And then problem. That sounds stupid. It sounds idiotic. Why would you make that edit? That's so dumb. Superman by Eminem, the original line. But I do know one thing though. Bitches, they come, they go. Hey, sorry if someone's upset that I said the word, but I'm reading a lyric line. Like, I'm not calling anyone that. I'm reading the line. Because you need to hear it, so that when you hear this edited line where they replace the word and it goes, but I do know one thing though. Chickens, they come, they go. Huh? Why is he a farmer now? Who thought chickens was the correct option? Chickens? Really? That's the edit? That's the edit you've gone with. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I've just been informed that My Name has a radio edit, which sounds insane. But also, the idea that it says, hi kids, do you like Primus instead of violence? Is so funny. What? The clean version of Eels, it's a motherfucker. It's changed to, it's a monster trucker. Under Pressure by David Bowie and Freddie Mercury apparently has radio edits that just cut out just chunks of the song. It doesn't change anything. I forgot about the song Birthday Sex. It's just birthday. The word sex is gone. Oh, right, Ludacris. I forgot about you. Move. Get out the way. Yeah, he says bitch there. Guys, he says move, bitch. Get out the way. And the radio edit has to take that out. So that sounds hilarious because it probably has like a car honk or something, knowing how they edit songs for the radio at times. So it probably goes move, honk, get out the way, get out the way, honk, get out the way. Awful. Terrible. Jeezy Pete's, man. And you know what's upsetting about radio edits is that all of it is because there's some one person that's going to go get upset and then, I don't know, make a podcast like mine and just be like, you know what grinds my gears, to quote Peter Griffin. And then thousands of people will be like, we can't let our children listen to this. This isn't good. And then they'll be up in arms. And I don't know what that voice was that I just did, but it was kind of funny. What else is NWA's pretty much whole existence probably it doesn't exist on there. I think that's hilarious. Cool. God, radio edits are so bad, and it's ridiculous. Now, I need it understood. I'm not saying that if you're riding around with a 4-year-old in the car, you should be bumping it to NWA and just like going ham or something. No, that's a kid. If that kid wants to get into that later in life, sure, cool, that's fine. But I also know that some of these versions of songs that we should just leave them be. Just don't air them on the radio. And I know a whole chunk of money comes from airing songs on the radio. A whole chunk of change, a change of chunks. But like, when it comes at the cost of artist integrity, like to a ridiculous degree, you probably shouldn't do it. Probably shouldn't do it at all. Parents who are good at being parents will know what their kids should and shouldn't listen to, and when they should and shouldn't be allowed to get into listening to those things, you know? And if they can't do that, then they're probably not good parents. No offense to the parents out there that let their kids get into things they shouldn't early on. Sometimes you create a cool kid. Other times you don't. And you never know. Now, this isn't a blanket statement that children should be coddled and hidden away until they're old enough to comprehend everything, because that'll just make a much worse situation. pretty much equivalent to like when a sheltered kid gets to go to college and be free, and then they get into hardcore drugs. You know, like drugs and drinking and like sex. That happens. But we all joke about it, like, ha ha, that person's gonna go to college. But like, it happens. And it's because they're sheltered away from all those things that they don't get the opportunity to even discuss it. You gotta have open discussions with your kids. You gotta give explanations. You gotta give reasons why. Because I'm your parent, worst explanation. And someone's gonna pop in and be like, you're not a parent. How would you know? And you're right, I'm not a parent, but I'm a kid. And I can tell you this right now. If I was told, oh, you can't listen to this song because it's incredibly violent and will upset you, or like, watch this movie. We'll use movie as an example because it sounds better. You can't watch this movie because it's incredibly violent and will upset you. I'd be like, oh, okay. Some kids might try to contest that and be like, oh, no, I'm good. And that's when you just have to give them the bite of the world and let them see it, and then they cry because they brought that one upon themselves. But like, when you just like, because I'm your parent and I said so, you know what that makes me want to do? Makes me want to go watch that movie. Makes me want to know just how violent it is. And be like, no, I can handle it. And then I hate life or something. I'm a horror fan. I didn't get into horror when I was young. Partially. But I also kind of did. And it wasn't, and it's at no fault of anyone except maybe my own and also my dad. Because my father is a man prone. He won't listen to this. But if he is, oops. But he is prone to just watching a movie, no matter the audience. So I as a child, I saw like Jurassic Park. I saw Jeepers Creepers. I saw Wrong Turn, The Hills Have Eyes, Final Destination. Although that one I was removed from the room for. And ironically, it's my favorite franchise. That is my favorite horror franchise. I will die on that hill. I also really enjoy Scream, but Final Destination is the winner. And you know what? I'd say I'm still pretty okay. Like, you know, I'm doing pretty solid. I'm here. I'm doing this. And I think it's pretty cool. You know? Anywho, here comes my reintroduction of the disclaimer from the very beginning. Starting first, spoiler warning for Stranger Things Season 4, Episode 1. In relation to the context that I am going to mention the incident in Texas. So, Stranger Things Season 4, Episode 1, when you start the episode, there's a disclaimer that pops up on the screen. And it mentions how the scene that you are going to witness as the opening to the episode was filmed a year ago. It says it was filmed a year ago, but in light of recent events that occurred in Texas, they just want to forewarn you that you would find it, like, some viewers might find the images disturbing. Now, I was fearful of what that might mean at first, and then I started the episode, and sorry, I already gave the spoiler warning, but it's the episode opens with this scene of Papa, Matthew Modine's character in Stranger Things. He takes number 6, or I think it's 10 actually, number 10, to go do some testing, and while they're doing that, a whole bunch of stuff happens. He's knocked out, and when he wakes up, he finds all of the kids in the program that he was running to make all the power kids like 11. He finds them all dead. So it's a room done up like a room you'd put a bunch of children in, and they've all been murdered. That is why the disclaimer existed, because of the events that occurred down in Texas, in which a high schooler went into an elementary school classroom and killed 19 kids and the two teachers. I've got an article pulled up just so I can have a timeline of the events. Tuesday, May 24th. So at the time of this coming out on the 30th, it has almost been a week since this event has occurred, which is insane to think about, because that is insane. I this world is so weird, man. Gunshots were heard in the area at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Central Time is, if you're on the East Coast, it's an hour behind. So, as of recording this right now, because my laptop is in Central Time because of where I go to college, so it would have been around 12:32 p.m. for people on East Coast. I can't do the math for other places except California because they're 3 hours ahead, which would be 3 hours ahead of Eastern Time. So I'm not going to do that math. At around 12:17, so almost an hour later, an active shooter was reported. That's around 45 minutes later. A reunification site is set up so that parents can pick up their children about 20 minutes after that. And then at around 1:06, a suspect is reported to be in custody. The suspect was not arrested. The suspect was killed. Yeah. There was an update given about the injured children about an hour later. Almost barely even 15 minutes after that, there was a press conference about what had occurred. And we kind of know how information like this goes after that. You know, we get more and more info. The children who were injured die. You know, people are identified. It's a whole thing. And that's like the second one in this month alone, I feel like, that had public coverage. Because, hey, if you couldn't tell, I'm not in Texas. I'm not in Texas. And I have this information because I have the internet, but also because I work a job where news plays all day. And I had to hear about it about 10 times over. And there was this one, and then there was the one with the man, was it? I think he was also 18. I don't have an article pulled up about him. The white young man who went and targeted all the black folk in the store he was in. The store he was in that was an hour or whatever away from his home that he chose specifically because it had a large population of African American people in it. And it wasn't even a situation of, oh, maybe he's just, a mass murderer. He's going to murder everyone. But no, he targeted African Americans. And this guy went and targeted kids. Because I think that's a fucked up thing we should all mention. Because that was a high schooler. That was an 18-year-old. He was bullied. And that was his choice. Was to go shoot a bunch of fucking kids. Fucks up with that, huh? This is the worst thing I could ever say. But hey, if you're getting bullied and you think picking up a gun is the right option, which it isn't, go shoot the fucking bullies. Hey? Not a justified thing to do, but at least I wouldn't be so fucking pissed. I'd be less pissed. Still pissed, but a little less. Because you know what? Those are a bunch of 10-year-olds. I have a nephew who's 8. I have another nephew who's younger than that. I can't imagine the life that my sister and her husband would live if they lived through a situation like that and lost their kids. I can't even imagine the idea of them being presented with a situation like that and they don't lose their kids, but their kids still are affected. Everyone is affected by all this fucking bullshit that these stupid people do. And it's ridiculous. And you know why it's ridiculous? Because there's still people who don't think there's a problem. They think they think it's just, oh, this is just an isolated. No, this isn't an isolated incident. You know how I know? Because that guy released a 180-page manifesto about how he was going to go target these people. And then this guy bought that gun himself. He bought that gun. Where were the checks that were supposed to be in place? Those should be regular, updated checks. It shouldn't just be at the time of purchase. If someone buys a gun, if I buy a gun at 20 and then I don't use it till I'm 40 to go commit some fucking crime, you should have been regularly checking up to see, like, maybe this guy might not be stable. You know? Maybe the signs would have been there. Something. Or maybe it should have been harder for someone to go buy a gun. Like, I don't know, the 18-year-old who bought the gun before he was 18 and then used it to go kill a bunch of fucking kids? It's absolutely ridiculous that we still have people that... There's so many goddamn people that want to scream out to the world, like, these are my guns. And I use that accent because you know that's kind of what some of you sound like when you say that shit. And you both know it. We all know it. I don't give two shits if it's your right. Your unwillingness to compromise over the whole thing about, guns, is the reason that every month there's just another one of these fucking things happening. Every month. It feels like it's non-stop. Every time I have to sit and look at the news, this is what I get. This is what we all get. I'm 20 years old. This is the point where I'm supposed to be thinking about, oh, maybe I want to have a kid. I'm a 20-year-old black man. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids if I go put them in a public school and have to think every day, well, maybe today's the day they don't come home. I don't want to go out in public. I just want to sit at home and hide away. That's the kind of world we're building up here in the U.S. And I know people are going to go write their comments because this is a topic that they don't want to see touched. This is one that they're like, he should let it go. No, I'm not going to let this shit go. I use this podcast to talk about the things I want to talk about, whether that's humorous, whether that's serious, or anything in between. Okay? I'm a guy that wants to own a gun. When I turn 21, I intend to apply to get a license to have a firearm. So don't even try to come at me and say, oh, he just doesn't like guns because he's a pansy or some shit. No. Because I intend to go get one, you jackass. And you know why? Because I don't feel safe. Because of the other people that you let have guns. These shitheads that walk around and do the shit that they do. So thank you guys for listening to the What a Thought podcast. If you have something to say about that, keep it to yourself. I don't give two shits. Okay? And if you feel so incessantly needed to come and spark an argument opposite to the things that I have just stated, go ahead. I dare you. Do you know how weird it is to live in a world where even fictional media feels the need to warn you that this image might, I don't know, remind you of something you just witnessed in real life? That's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's a show about people with telekinetic powers and upside down worlds and, I don't know, demogorgons. Right? And yet they still felt the need to let you know, to warn you as a viewer, that hey, some stuff happens here and it kind of looks like the stuff that just happened in the real world. The things that you guys keep having to deal with. But we just wanted to make sure you were aware of that, while you watch your fictional show, that we're sorry about what happened. And that's not me pointing some weird blame at the show. It's me pointing blame at the world that we have created, where stuff like that happens so often that our fictional media has to let us know ahead of time to be warned about the fact that it might remind us of what occurred. I've been Matthew Allen. This has been the What a Thought podcast. Hopefully 2 weeks from now we'll have some lighter, funner things, because I'm a little tired of pretty much every time I come in to talk, there's a new tragedy that has occurred. every time. It's insane. I'll see you guys next week.